Hi, this is Mugs McConnell from South Okanagan Yoga Academy, and we're talking about snippets of yoga philosophy. So today I wanted to talk about prana, the life force. So prana, there's one main prana called Mukhya Prana, Mukhya, which oversees the breakdown of various pranas. So that's the overall name. And then there are 5 major pranas underneath that. So they are also called Prana Vayus. So when we die, prana leaves the body. It's the life force. And what is left is a corpse that doesn't move at all. But when we are born, the life force comes into us through the umbilical cord. And then when we are detached from our mother, we have our own independent ability to move. And that movement comes from what the yogis called prana. So I wanted to talk about the breakdown of these 5 pranas. First, in the Prasna Upanishad, it talks about prana, and I wanted to introduce it from there. And it says, life, the power supreme, said to them, do not fall into delusion. It is I who in my 5-fold division keep the union of this being, and I am its foundation. So that just lays the groundwork there for how important prana is, that it gives us all of our movement and holds us together. The movement of our thoughts. Right now I'm moving my arms. Where does this come from? It comes from the life force, which is called prana. So Mukhya Prana is the main prana. Some people call it Maha Prana, the great prana. And sometimes I just write it with a capital P, because underneath it, of the 5 other Prana Vayus, or the 5 Prana Vayus that this disperses the movement through, one of them is called prana. And I write that one with a little p. So the first subsidiary of Mukhya Prana is prana, and it comes from this chest area. It's related to inhalation and comes controls the movement of all of this chest area. And then apana is related to exhalation, which is movement, and it's in the lower region of the body, the pelvic region, and it expels all the waste materials that we don't need. So whether it's excrement or urine, but also anything like sweating from the body or negative thoughts, that's also related to this apana, letting go of waste material. And then we have samana, which is in the mid region of the body. And here is where the movement of digestion occurs. It's this abdominal solar plexus region where we assimilate the nutrients. It's also related to holding the breath. The moment you hold the breath, you're assimilating the prana in you, and you can feel the engagement of those abdominal muscles in order to achieve the holding of the breath. So this is related to kumbhaka, or breath retention. And here's how we assimilate our nutrients. Then we have udana, from the throat upward. And this is related to, some say it relates even to the movement of our arms. So the 5 appendages, the head, the arms, and the legs, and bringing that movement there. It's also movement of thoughts. It's the mind area, right? Movement of the eyes. And then we have the Vyana. Vyana is the movement, like circulation. It's everywhere throughout the body. The transmission of information from the nerves to the brain. So this Vyana is all over the body and it coordinates everything. As Prana said in the Upanishads, I hold everything together. So it coordinates our muscle movements, the circulation, the distribution of energy throughout the body. So under the Mukhya or Maha Prana, we have Prana, Apana, Samana, Udana, and Vyana. And these 5 beautiful Vayus create all the movement within us, everything. So underneath those, there are 5 minor pranas, and then these take on even more minute little jobs, such as the blinking of the eyes, or the burping or hiccups, or opening and closing of the heart valves, and regulating the movement of the desire of hunger or thirst or yawning. And so everything breaks down underneath the Mukhya Prana to create all of the movement in the body. And when we die, that life force leaves the body and there is no longer any more movement. So there's a wonderful video as well from Dr. Ananda, and I'll put a link in underneath the description of the video here, and I've broken these down for you on the front plate of the video as well. But when you're on YouTube, if you look for the description, I'll put the link to Dr. Ananda's description or short video on prana as well, so you can get the perspective from him too. So I hope this has been very helpful for you, and I hope you have a very beautiful day. Thank you for listening to Snippets of Yoga. Namaste.